Hi and welcome everyone, Friar Tuck here. This is my epoch, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my newsletter to be able to get this in written form. And because this is a second part of, I think it's about 6 or 7 parts, is what I've broken it down into. So this is part number 2. This is the next step in your path to homelessness, which is losing your place. So if you want to know how to be homeless, if you want to be able to get updated information about laws and things that are changing, a little bit of education, a little bit of awareness about the homeless issue, and you want to keep apprised because either you're going to be affected, you are affected, or you just think that homelessness is wrong and so you just want to become aware, please make sure to go over to hobotuck.com, subscribe to my newsletter, and once you confirm it, you will get my you'll get a link to the document, and I'm going to be updating that document over time and dealing with it that way. But we're going to get into losing your place. This is really where the housing crisis begins. Okay, there's been some articles that have come out where there are some individuals that are actually not individuals, it's a company, of course, that has this software, and what it's doing is it is forcibly and artificially forcing the rental rates to go up. So for every $100 that rent goes up, that is that's, what is it, 9% increase in homelessness, and something around that line. Okay, so now you've got this software that is causing rents to go up, and it's doing it artificially. Why? Because all these landlords are coming together, and they're coming in under the agreement that they always get a guaranteed rent increase, and that they have to keep quiet about where they get their numbers from. But this website has complete control over the rental market, and controls and influences the price of homes, and it artificially raises the prices of rent so that it can keep raising the price of rent for everybody in an area. So this is part of the reason why we're seeing rental prices go through the roof, is because it's a third-party software that's doing it under the programming that it's always supposed to make rent go up. Well, it's made rent go so far up that it has been it's pricing people out of the market, and it is causing homelessness. Okay, and this is something that's very real to be able to wrap your head around, is that people that are about to become homeless, it's a lot of it's through no fault of their own. This is a company that created malicious software, and it will be years before the people that are affected will be able to get any compensation, and after that the damage has already been done. So what kind of compensation are you really going to get, and how much money did they make, and how liable are they going to be held? What did they lose? They got to live a fat lifestyle for how many years until somebody found out, and then they got to be able to hide a lot of that money. So really nothing's going to be done about this of substance to actually restore and make communities whole and complete after the damage that this has caused. Okay, not only that, we have the inflation of the money supply. Part of that is because AI is trading. Part of that is because there are a lot of loans that are going out, so there's a lot of money chasing after different goods and services, and so that's causing inflation to go up. And all of that stuff brings you to a point when you're going to sit there and go, I don't know about the rest of the world, but I can't afford to live. I got 2 choices. I pay my rent, and I'm going to starve to death, or I'm going to starve for half the month, or I go live outside, and I just can't do it, and I get to eat, but I get to live outside. I get to deal with all the crap that goes on with being outside. Okay, so I mean those are going to be, people don't think that it's going to happen, but if you listen to Popular Preparedness, he's talking about how all the supply chain disruptions, and we're finding out that some of this is actually artificial, that they're doing it to be able to raise prices, saying that, it has to deal with theft, but it's not really theft. It really has to do with perception, so that they can artificially raise prices as well, because right now we're being robbed blind. All right, so let's say you're getting evicted from your apartment because you can't afford it, or you're one of the many people who just lost your homeowner's insurance, so now you're getting foreclosed on because the bank requires you to have homeowner's insurance, and you don't have homeowner's insurance. So how's that going to work out for you? All right. And so now you are stuck in a situation. Now, there are things that you can do. I will give you a couple pieces of advice. If you are a homeowner and you live in a trust deed state, okay, now it's up to you to do your research and to figure this out, but I'm going to point you in the direction, and if you can't see this, it's on you, okay? And it's very simple. In a trust deed state, it requires that that there is an office of trustee. So when you sign that mortgage agreement, it says the office of trustee is created. Now, because you didn't do a prior election before you actually got into the mortgage and everything else like that, the bank just says, oh, well, you know what, you begged us, you pleaded with us, we figured we'd step in and accommodate you just to make sure that you're compliant and that everything goes good, so now we are the trustee. Well, since the office of the trustee is irrevocable, does that mean that the trustee is irrevocable? No, but it's up to you to do your own research. This might be a way for you to save your place if you were stuck in a situation like that. Okay. Another thing is, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, van life. Well, I hope you have a good amount of money to do that. I hope that you have stable employment to be able to do that. Then do the van life. Don't do RVs. Don't do motorhomes. Okay, because those are expensive. And they get crappy gas mileage. At least in a van, you'll get better gas mileage than you will in an RV. Okay, and you can live in a minimalist lifestyle, and you'll learn to appreciate the small things and not having a lot. Okay, but losing your place, this is something that you're going to have to deal with, because if you don't get ahead of your mental instability, your job instability, or your financial instability, and even through no circumstance of your own, if you were, let's just say you really wanted to keep your house, you're about 5 years from being able to pay it off. But yet you lose your homeowner's insurance. Do you know you have the ability to self-insure? Or you can sell your assets and make sure to pay that house off, okay? If you have the assets, if you haven't already lost them, okay? Because that may be something for you to do to be able to stave this off. But for most people, when you go through this process, understand you are going to get evicted, okay? So if you can't pay rent on the 1st, they by the 7th or 8th, you will get a 72-hour pay or quit. And if the pay or quit comes in, okay, you will have a court date in about 2 weeks. They usually hold them right around the 1st of the month and right around the middle of the month, and everybody's out at the end of the month, okay? So you'll be in there till around the 1st of the month. They'll probably hold it around the 5th or the 7th, okay? It takes about a month to get you into court. So once you go into court, you go in, you say, hey, look, Your Honor, this is what's going on, da 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 da. And the judge is going to sit there and tell you, I'm sorry, it sucks to be you, but you owe rent, and since it's his place and you didn't pay him to be able to be there, you don't have the right to be there, okay? But then you can also negotiate a way out, because the thing is the judge is gonna look at your circumstances, and if you really, if you have children, if you have severe health issues, or if it's cold, like it's the middle of winter and you're in Michigan, they're going to tell you, no, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait till spring to get them out, okay? And that is the purpose of an eviction, to save your butt until spring if you're in northern areas. If you're in southern areas, you better have children, okay? Because you cannot make a child homeless during the winter, okay? Time of year, not temperature. During time of year, okay? So with that being said, that will also give you, and it becomes very hard to evict somebody that has children, and as bad as it sounds, if you need that roof over your head, especially considering you have children, those are your options. Because as somebody who's ran his own eviction processes and evicted quite a few people for things that I was doing, plus for other people, I will tell you that there are plenty of loopholes if you really need to push it. But I will also tell you, you may not be able to get a place for 3 to 5 years. Okay, but See, it used to be 7 years before the Great Financial Crisis. Okay, after the Great Financial Crisis, then it was 3 to 5 years. Okay, and you've got landlords now because things started getting so better that they were pushing to 10 years again, but it's going to go back to 3 to 5 because otherwise you'll never be able to get anybody. So many people are about to become evicted for whatever reason and start either living in their cars, living on a street corner, or something. Okay, so losing your place, this is what it's like. It's going to be scary. This is the point in time where you want to start creating a plan of action. Now, I've already done a video on a plan of action, so I'm going to combine that into this video. And I'm just going to go over some basic things that you want to do when creating a plan of action, because I actually wrote some things down here. So as you see, I printed off the article. It's 6 pages, 3,000 words. Okay, so when creating your plan of action, you should consider the following points of planning. Where are you going to sleep? What is your generalized daily schedule going to look like with planned days off? How are you going to make money, and what will you need to do this? What are your long-term and short-term tasks that need to be accomplished to get off the streets? What are the possible opportunities that you might have, and what needs to happen to take advantage of them? What do you need to get off the streets and maintain stability? What resources are available to offset expenses? What is your time management like, and what is your plan B? Okay, so this is something that you are going to have to really think about with your plan of action. Let me just give you some pointers, kind of help you understand what your whole thing to do, because just like I'm writing this down as a path, this is a guide so that you can get some visuals, some understanding of what homelessness is going to be like for you, what you can do to be able to have a decent homeless experience, not to get traumatized, not to have all the negative experiences that you hear other people having. Okay, and this is something that will help you get that way. Now, my plan is in my head, even though I have bad memory, what I want to do is my desires to begin with, so it's not really hard for me to remember that because it's something I really want to do to begin with. Okay, and so I keep thinking every day, how can I be efficient in what I do? How can I be efficient in how I live? How can I get the most out of every day? Because I still got to go take Sam to the dog park. I still got to go grab something to eat. I still got to come here, do my research, do my recording, do my editing, write my articles, get all this stuff done. And I've only got so much time in a day, and I can only do it for so long. Okay, so having a plan, having a schedule to be able to remain efficient will be important, because when you start being on the streets for after a week or two, it stops being a camping trip and reality starts setting in. You're going to be grateful that you're that busy, because then that means that you're not going to be blending in with the homeless. You're not going to be getting all the blowback that the homeless will be getting over time as homelessness expands, because you will be doing the right thing and doing the wise thing, and society will leave you alone for the most part. Okay? It's just the way it's going to be. So you got two choices. You can go out there and be the eyesore, or you can blend in, do your own thing, and build your empire. Turn that new leaf over and build the life that you want to have. Okay, and it's going to look different because the economy is crashing. The whole world is collapsing economically, militarily, governmentally. The whole world is up in fire. Okay, so what the future looks like is much different. So for those of you that have always wanted to get out there and get ahead of the game, to kind of be first on the scene, this is your opportunity, okay? And if you follow these directions, if you create a plan, not only will it help you on your bad days, but it will help you on your good days. You will have something to cling to when you are having trouble being motivated. You will have something that will, it will be probably one of the most important things to you, next to maybe having a road dog. Okay, and I really think that is very, very important. So when you are if you are in the process of losing your home because you weren't able to get ahead of the instabilities that you had, take the time and write a plan while you still have some coherent ability to make decisions that are rationed and reasoned, because until you learn how to deal with the stress out on the streets, you are going to be volatile and unstable. Okay, so this is my advice to you. You know, I help the channel. Share, like, subscribe, everything else down in the description. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.